Let's learn to create some objects. In Dized we call them smart objects, and you can view them in the top right corner in the SO Explorer menu. They are called smart because you can add logic to these objects. Today we're going to create a card, a die, a custom object and a token. So let's get started with the card. I already have all my assets here ready to go, and these are the Escape from Babylon example assets. So let's click the SO Explorer and you will see an empty view if you haven't created any objects yet. You can click the plus to start creating the object. So we are going to create a card first. You can see the card templates here that you can use, different size cards, and they are named with their name and also their size. And in Escape from Babylon, the cards are Euro Mini, so 44 by 67. So it's this. I'm gonna select it, click select and give it a name. I will call it Movement Card 1. And now I'm going to need to apply textures for it. When I click the first bar here, it will open up an Asset Explorer. And this is your File Explorer, where you will save all of your assets and pictures and music and models and whatever. So let's see if I've already uploaded them. Here they are. I already have them nicely organized in the Asset Explorer. I'm gonna click here and I'm going to first put the card front side. And this, I'm gonna select it like that. And now you can see that the card texture is applied here. And then I'm going to select the back side, which is this. There we go. I'm going to use material handles basically the reflection on the asset, and I'm going to use wood since that gives less reflection, and I like it a bit better myself. I don't need to give it a material color, and I very rarely need to give logic to an object at this stage. So I'm going to leave it empty, click save, and you will see that the card that you created appeared here. And now if you go into a step, you can see that the card is in your library and you can start using it immediately. So let's continue and create the die next. We go back to SO Explorer, click plus, and then we will find a die here. We are going to use a 6-sided die. Let's name it Combat Die, and then we will give it a texture map. You can not give it a texture map and then it will use a default texture, but typically there's some kind of a color with the die anyway. So I'm gonna find it here, die, and the texture map should be visible since I'm using the images filter. There we go. There's a template where you can create your own textures for the dice. And also I'm gonna use a wood material here. I'm gonna save it and the combat die will have appeared. Now let's create a custom object. Some games have custom objects, models, minis, whatever they are. Some even have really cool custom dice and stuff like that, which are typically delivered by the publisher. And you can create them using the custom object, smart object. This will allow you to give a model file or object file for the asset. So let's start by giving this a name. It's called Warlord. The model, I'm gonna click it, and let's go find the Warlord folder. Now I'm going to need to apply a model file for it, but as you can see it's not visible because I have a wrong filter here. I'm gonna change it to other, and I will see Babylon Warlord standee base.obj. I'm gonna select it, and then I'm going to select texture. Remember to change the filter and use this. If you mix this up, you put the obj file on the bottom, the editor will crash when you try to open it up. I'm going to use a wooden one. In this there's also a possibility to use a transparent one, but I'm going to use a wooden one. Do the reflection and save, and we will have the custom model. Now let's create one more, a token, which is every game almost has tokens, so it's good to learn to create them. We will create a round token using the round token as so. We select it, just give it a name token. Same as before, we will apply the textures. They are 30 millimeters wide, so we'll change that as well. Let's first do the texture. First was front side, for example that, and then back side, which are these. And now I'm going to change the size to 30 by 30 millimeters, and that is it. One thing before you go, these categories that you see here reflect on the categories that you have here in the SO Explorer menu. So if you want one of your objects to be in several categories, for example, or have custom ones, that is what they are. But typically you don't have to touch them at all. Let's close this and go see what we have created. So we have the custom die with the custom texture. We have the card, which is two-sided. We have the token, which is also two-sided, 30 by 30, and the custom warlord miniature with the base. There we go. And that is how you create smart objects very easily in Dized.